Give me 5. No? Okay, well, I'll give you 5. And I mean my top 5 concerts of 2025. Hey everyone, Brendan the Blind Guy here, and welcome to the Boombox.
Just give me that. Boom, boom, boom. Just give me that. Boom, boom.
Okay, let's get the dookie out of the way first. In number 5 spot, I'm talking about Green Day's The Saviour's World Tour earlier this year at NG Stadium in Sydney. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, what? This is an epic show. Why did it get number 5, not number 1? Now, it was an epic show, and, it went for like 2.5 hours. The band played their 2 most iconic albums, Dookie and American Idiot, in full. And they are incredible albums, very nostalgic, and plus, they had AFI supporting, which I was very, very happy about. So, there were fireworks, so much energy on stage, the crowd were going nuts, wow! And lighting was great, wow! What's the downside? So as great as a show can be, it's nothing if the sound mix is not there. And it wasn't. So yes, I could hear Billy Joe's vocals, but it was definitely a strain. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, well, hey Brendan, what about, the sound's not the best when you're at the front with everything getting all distorted and everything. If you're at the front, of course it's not going to sound good. Well, yeah, that's a very valid point, except for if you wear earplugs, any kind of earplugs, even the cheap ones you get from the chemist, it cuts out the distorting high and low frequencies so you can hear everything nice and balanced in the way it should be. Of course, the better the quality the earplugs are, the better the sound evenness will be. So yes, even though I was at the front at the barrier, the sound mix just wasn't there. And I've been to enough concerts in my life to know that it doesn't matter where you are in the venue, the sound should be great throughout, not just standing right next to the sound mixing desk. And that's why it gets number 5. Okay, let's make some bad decisions. In number 4 place is Sydney alt rock mutants Red Hook, when I saw them recently for the Crowbar birthday week celebration. Now, this show, if anyone read the review, was bonkers, and it was really trippy. Seriously, you need to read the review, because if I were on drugs, then wow, it was a trippy show, and it was just, insane. The sound was incredible, the performance was fierce, lead singer Emmy just owned the stage, the way she connected with the audience, she even entered the audience. Me being at the front, all of a sudden I had a shower of blonde red hair over me, and her and the supporting vocalist were screaming in my face and everything. So yeah, it was epic, and there were even stage props like beach balloons with messages written to Shirley from Garbage. There were some wrestlers doing some shows there, and of course with the beach balloons, Shirley and the wrestlers really took the piss out of Shirley, and that went down really well because it was really recent and fresh in people's minds. There were pillows for the audience to rip up. There were even cardboard face masks. Emmy dove off the stage for a wrestler to just pluck her out of the air as if she weighed nothing. The lighting was there. I haven't rocked out so fiercely in such a long time. An absolute epic show. Next is My Immortal, people. In number 3 was Evanescence performing at Sydney's Metro Theatre for the intimate sideshow tour from them supporting the legendary Metallica in October and November. Now, the reason why this one only gets number 3 and not number 1 is, well, because there are 2 other shows that I'm yet to go through that I feel are slightly better. But it was so incredible and euphoric getting to see this iconic rock band in such a small venue, and it was an arena performance. To say Amy Lee's vocals were clean just don't do it justice. The way they soared and just cut through the atmosphere so crystal clear, It was haunting and beautiful. It was just like, it was spellbinding. It really was. There wasn't any fancy shit going on stage, you know, there weren't props or fireworks or anything. You know, the Metro Theatre is a small venue. But the performance was just, you know, 10 out of 10. It was amazing. Yeah, wow, I can't say much more than just, it was momentous and it was truly special. Next, I'm going 6 feet under. In number 2 spot is Swedish alt rockers Smash Into Pieces on the debut Australian tour for the Armaghän Prophecy. Now, this was very hard for me to decide whether it was number 1 or number 2. And honestly, I think it ties, but I have to put it in number 2, but for such a small venue at Sydney's Mary's Underground, which probably only holds, you know, 150 to 200 people, such a nice venue, and like the stage only came up to my knees, and it was just like a really small venue. So this band, like the production for the show was just incredible. There was a massive screen, like backdropping the stage that was constantly giving good effects, visuals and lighting. In between each song, it was not just the band taking a break and silence for, you know, 10 seconds and waiting for the audience to finish cheering and everything. Of course, that was a couple of times, but in the most part, while the band had a drink or maybe, you know, wipe sweat off or whatever, there were cinematic recordings playing on the stage to really keep the flow and the theatrics going. Plus, drummer Apoc, he was wearing this like epic, like robotic kind of suit. He had like this LED head mask on, where, you know, like the face, you know, had all of these lights and screens. It's like, how the hell did he see out of it? Did not get in the way of his incredible drumming. It was so impressive. Plus, the other 3 members of the band were just owning the stage, and they were coming up to us at the front. You know, like, there was so many times where my hand was just colliding with the band members or their guitars, and I'm like, oh, I hope I'm not just making their guitars or bass guitars play a completely wrong chord or whatever. But it was so cool, and the way they were just like face to face with us constantly, not just once or twice, and it was just incredible. And the only reason why I didn't rock out harder than I did was because I didn't have the stability, because as I said, the stage was only like up to knee height, and I didn't have the space with everyone around me. I had enough space to rock out, but not quite as fiercely as I did for Red Hook recently. But still, Smash Into Pieces, that was such a highlight show. Okay, finally, in first place, we're on the edge of glory. Of course, I mean the recent Lady Gaga Mayhem Ball tour, which even despite dancer Michael Demescu falling off the stage because of the wet weather making it quite slippery, and even though Lady Gaga came on stage an hour late, it was still like the #1 show of this year. Now, the reason why I was having trouble deciding whether it's 1 or 2 or a tie for #1 with Smash Into Pieces is because, as I just said, Smash Into Pieces was like a massive arena show in such a tiny venue in the way they connected with us in the audience. Whereas Lady Gaga was this epic stadium show with all of these stage props, including like rollout Viking ships that she was standing on. So there was a sand pit that she was lying in, half buried next to a skeleton. Costume changes, of course. So many backup singers and dancers. There was like a medieval castle on stage that a couple of times she ended up on like the second or third level, while rooms on the base level had the drummer and guitars in each room. There were like 4 piano props without the keys lined up to make a runway for Lady Gaga. It was just like, wow. And of course she did connect with the audience, just not on a personal one-on-one level. Apparently though, the night before the show I didn't go to, it wasn't raining, so Lady Gaga was able to get off the stage and quickly connect with fans at the front, taking signs and presents off people. Apparently she even took a jacket off someone, which is really, really cool. And the sound was amazing. You know, there were there was pyros. There could have actually been fireworks, I don't know. Lighting was incredible, the theatrics, the visuals on the screens apparently were incredible. It was truly magnificent, and I am so glad I got to experience it. Okay, now looking forward to next year, 2026. There are so many incredible tours coming up, including Linkin Park's From Zero World Tour, Electric Callboy's Tans Need World Tour, I think that's how you pronounce it, One Republic, The Great Wilderness, I think it's called. Forgive me if I got that wrong. Also, The Used with Sydney Symphony Orchestra at the Opera House, and Good Charlotte with Yellow Card and Kiss Chasey. So many amazing tours to look out for. Check them all out on the Keen Eye for Concerts website under the What's On page. Okay, until next time, hope everyone has an incredible festive season, and I can't wait to catch you all in the new year. Keep liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Keep it coming, everyone, and thank you so much. And until next time, keep a keen eye for concerts and bring on the boom.
God, just give me